David Johansen, the legendary frontman of the New York Dolls, has passed away at the age of 75 following a long and difficult battle with cancer. His passing marks the end of an era for punk rock, as he was not only a pioneer of the genre but also an influential figure who reshaped the landscape of rock music. His daughter, Leah Hennessy, confirmed his death, revealing that he passed away peacefully at his home in New York on Friday, February 28. In a statement to the New York Times, Hennessy shared that her father had been fighting stage 4 cancer for many years and had also been diagnosed with a brain tumor. The heartbreaking revelation came after years of private struggle, as Johansen and his wife, Mara Hennessy, chose to keep his illness away from the public eye. Earlier in February, Leah spoke openly about her father's health, detailing the immense challenges he had been facing. David has been in intensive treatment for stage 4 cancer for most of the past decade. There have been complications ever since. He's never made his diagnosis public, as he and my mother Mara are generally very private people, but we feel compelled to share this now, due to the increasingly severe financial burden our family is facing. Her words highlighted the unseen difficulties that came with her father's illness, not only in terms of his physical suffering but also the financial strain it placed on their family. Despite his condition, Johansen remained engaged with the world around him, embracing every moment with love, gratitude, and connection. In a heartfelt interview with People magazine, Leah described how her father was coping with his final days. "He's very, very sick, but he's reading all the messages and he's getting in touch with people he hasn't talked to in many years. The connection is probably the best thing for him right now, as it is for all of us." She added that although his physical condition had deteriorated significantly, his spirit remained strong. "He's totally with us, mentally, emotionally, but he's physically incapacitated." David Johansen's influence on music cannot be overstated. As the lead singer of the New York Dolls, he helped shape the sound and style of punk rock, long before it became a global phenomenon. Formed in 1971, the New York Dolls were a band that embodied rebellion, androgyny, and raw energy, elements that would later define punk music. Their music was gritty, their performances electrifying, and their aesthetic was unlike anything the world had seen before. With their gender-bending fashion and fearless attitude, they paved the way for later acts like the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, and the Clash. Despite their short-lived initial success, the New York Dolls became one of the most influential bands of their time. Their self-titled debut album, released in 1973, was met with critical acclaim and later hailed as one of the greatest rock albums of all time. Songs like Personality Crisis, Trash, and Jet Boy captured the raw, unfiltered essence of a movement that was just beginning to take shape. However, the band struggled with internal conflicts, drug abuse, and the lack of commercial success, ultimately leading to their breakup in 1976. But Johansen's career was far from over. Rather than fading into obscurity, he reinvented himself, embarking on a solo career that showcased his versatility as an artist. In the late 1970s, Johansen released a series of solo albums, experimenting with different musical styles while maintaining the edge and charisma that made him an icon. But it was in the 1980s that he found a new identity as Buster Poindexter, a cabaret-style lounge singer who became an unexpected success. With his slicked-back hair, tuxedo, and mischievous charm, he introduced the world to a new side of his artistry. His most famous song under this persona, Hot Hot Hot, became a massive hit, solidifying his place in pop culture. Beyond music, Johansen also had a successful acting career, appearing in films and television shows. His notable roles included playing the ghost of Christmas Past in the 1988 film Scrooged, starring alongside Bill Murray. He also made appearances in various TV series, proving that his talent extended far beyond the stage. In 2004, Johansen reunited with surviving members of the New York Dolls, bringing the band back to life for a new generation. Their reunion was bittersweet, as it was originally planned as a one-off event organized by Morrissey, a longtime fan of the band. However, the overwhelming response led to a full-fledged comeback, complete with new albums and tours. Despite the loss of original members, Johansen remained the heart and soul of the group, keeping their rebellious spirit alive. As news of his passing spreads, tributes from fellow musicians, fans, and celebrities have poured in, honoring his legacy. He was more than just a musician. He was a cultural icon, a fearless performer, and a storyteller whose music and presence touched the lives of many. David Johansen's influence will never fade. His voice, his energy, and his relentless passion for music will continue to inspire generations to come. From the underground clubs of New York to the grand stages of the world, His legacy is one that will forever be remembered. Rest in peace, David Johansen. Your music and spirit will live on.